Henshin. Oh man, what a
why?
Absolutely why. That's why. Yes.
Well, no, just why? But was it a shocker? Really? No, I don't think so.
No, it wasn't.
But I'm just like Michi boy. I know that we're the third party, kind of just like peeking over your shoulder, like what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But even a blind man's dog, and the dog cannot see too, could literally be like, "Is it a shocker? Really? Really?" Anyway, a lot of melon in these episodes.
A lot of melon.
Lot of melon.
A lot of green fruit, to be honest, because we got honeydew, watermelon, grape, durian, kiwi.
I mean, a lot of greens. Did you have your greens today? Which technically, watermelon a fruit?
It is a fruit.
Is it a fruit? I thought it was categorized under a vegetable. Well, no.
No.
Apparently, fun fact for those who don't know, and I know you come here for random ass trivia. Did you know the term vegetable is not really a thing, or vegetables are not really a thing?
No, they're not.
It is a culinary cooking term that was used for specifically specifying vegetation that was not considered under the vegetable category. Are under the fruits category. Fruits do exist. Vegetables do not.
You know, it's even weirder. There are fruits that people consider to be vegetables, like tomatoes, avocados.
Cucumber. It blew someone's mind that there was recently. I was out and about, had a little adventure, self-growing as well. I'm kind of proud of myself for what happened afterwards, but I ordered a slush boba and I went for avocado. The person looks at me like, what are you, they get the basic like milk tea or whatever. And I was like, I thought you said you were getting like a fruit one. Avocados are fruit. Avocado is in the family of berries.
Yeah.
What you are eating with your toast and a fried egg, or maybe if you're Spanish, your guacamole is mashed up berries. Yeah, you're eating.
It's literally like guacamole is made out of two things: fruits.
It is a fruit puree.
It's a puree of several different fruits plus onions because tomato is a fruit, pepper is a fruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And if you're one of those weird Californians, cucumber, eggplant, squash, those are all fruits.
Yeah. If you're part of the Central American or Latino faction, depending on where you come from, it's mainly South and below.
Mm-hmm.
We put eggs in our guacamole.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
I like eggs.
It's a mixture of fats because again, avocados are very high in rich fats.
Like really good fats.
It's really good fats, but adding an egg kind of gives it a little bit more zest.
Not to mention a bit of protein.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the thing I love about eggs is that it's mostly protein. With some fat, no gluten.
People want to say that the yolk is like, well, yeah, but the yolk was not meant for us.
It's meant for whatever animal it's meant for.
Mm-hmm.
But and it contains a lot of nutrients. Yeah, but hey, 2 hard-boiled eggs can be a complete meal. Like you'll be full after 2 hard-boiled eggs.
It depends on who you are, though.
No, trust me, I am a power eater, and and like 2 hard-boiled eggs surprisingly satiates me. Like, yeah, but we hope you all enjoyed our nutritional discussion, because we are here to talk about Kamen Rider Gaim episodes 6 through 11. And I have to say, thank God that someone out there made a Russian dub of this show, because I was stuck in traffic today.
I had already watched the episodes, but I kind of put it as a background noise during my little thing today. So I was like, and the person was like, "Do you even understand what they're saying?" And I just kind of smugly said yes, but I was like, I already know what's going on, so I already read it. So yeah, I was like, I need a little background noise because of all this BS that's going on around me.
Oh yeah, and yes, everyone. As of last week, Steve is now officially a full-time member of the Morphin Squad. So yeah, may he be praised. May he be praised. And it's like, and like you find out some very interesting things. Like without even realizing them, because you and I officially met at Power Morphicon 2012, and yet surprisingly, there's a picture of the two of us from 3 months before that.
Yeah, there was. Well, no, that's why I guess we kind of just like, just you would think it's like random, but it's like no, like we kind of had met beforehand. Yeah, it's just like difference in settings, because when it's one of those things that apparently scientists have done research where it's like when you see someone like at work and you see them in their uniform or whatever, but when you're out and about in the real world and you bump into them, you don't know it's them because you're so used to the way of seeing them every day.
Yeah.
And so because of that, they said it's an involuntary reaction of seeing something displaced. So while you may indeed know them, your brain processes it that, oh, wait, it's so-and-so from the office or so-and-so from this thing. And it's like, yeah, I think that's what happened our first time around. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's like that. Like when we took that photo, it's like, yeah, like we were just like hanging out at the at the concert, but like you could have been just some random guy that our mutual friend, who we shall keep nameless. I don't know if you still talk to them, but
I do.
Oh, okay.
I still do. Everyone knows that I'm friends with them, and it's like it's crazy that especially during this past event, I would just walk up and they would just be like, come from behind the booth, and like, and not just him, but like also previous bandmates and people that were there. So it's like, I'm not lying when I say that I'm friends with certain people. Like that's not my way. Why lying implies to gain something, and what do I gain?
And it's not like you're going out of your way to remind people that you're friends.
No. It kind of reminds me of that time. Just long story short, it was the PMC in Anaheim, and it's Johnny Bosch. So he was doing this whole thing, and he had a line. Jason Frank was there. Also, the movie Rangers were there at this convention.
Yeah.
And Johnny had a pretty good line. Now, I just roll up, and I see our mutual friend Polo, who, if you know Polo,
I've missed Polo. I barely even recognized him.
He hasn't changed at all still, but I'm there.
He looked like he put on more muscle, though. Not gonna lie.
He's been lifting the weights.
Yeah.
But he saw me and he was excited, and he came, and just like this year, he was just like, oh, where have you been, blah blah. And he calls Johnny over, but no, keep signing, keep doing your thing. I'll be back. And people getting mad thinking that I just cut a line
Mhm.
just to say hi or whatever. And I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
didn't. I just saw them. I just said hi and that's it. And Polo just like knocks the table just like, and says, dude, leave your stuff here, blah, blah. I'm like, what? Why? I'm like, okay. And so next thing you know, these weebs that were just like, so whatever, they were just like in shock that Johnny gets up and comes over to me, gives me the handshake and the hug and everything. Like,
Yeah.
how's things? How's the family? I'm like, oh, no, like things are good. And
Yeah.
we just continued on. And can you imagine that whole line? I became the unofficial photographer for Johnny for people with their cell phones. Can you imagine everyone's embarrassment? Like these people were ragging on me, thinking I was cutting in line.
I don't know.
Dick.
No, I
In
get the same
hindsight,
thing,
it did look like a dick move in hindsight. But I was like, I'm over here on the side of the table, not in front. I didn't cut anything. But just the fact that I became an unofficial photographer and everyone is apologizing to me because they're just like, and even Johnny was like, hey, he's a friend, all right? I'm like, not me saying it. So I'm just like, can you just imagine? And I'm just like, well, if this isn't official, I mean, cool.
No, like, no, I go through the same thing when it comes to like Najee and Allison Kipperman, and more recently Nikolai, where it's like and also Campbell Cooley, like it's like Campbell's like has been like a friend of ours for like a really long time, so it was like he's like always happy to hang out with us. It's like, hey, Campbell, what you doing?
It's just how you treat them. You treat them like people. It's the same thing. That's all. As I've said, you treat them like people.
Yeah, not too informal, but not too formal. There's like a nice middle ground.
Yeah, but the announcement was made this past Monday. And thank you to everyone's kind words on Instagram and on Facebook and welcoming me. I will try to do my best.
Yeah.
But yes, we're here to talk about young Asian boys in dance groups. Not anymore, because that gets thrown out the window very fast.
Yeah. I think it's hilarious how like in episode 11, like you got like 4 of the Team Gaim members like practicing dance moves. It's like they do their battle their way. We gotta do our battle our way. I'm like, do you though?
I'm kind of like, here's the thing, and I remember when Gaim first was airing at the time, and seeing like, it's all about dancing and Kamen Riders, and I'm like, what? But apparently, after like episode 5, the whole dance troupe thing kind of gets just shafted to the back. Like, oh, it's there. Let's not say it's not. It's still there. But as we see from 6 to 11, and more so between like 6 and 8, the focus has been shifted. The popularity is not DDR anymore. It's Smash Brothers. That's pretty much what it is. Because it's like we went from the era of DDR to the era of Smash Brawl.
Yeah. What's funny is one time a bunch of us, we wanted to pull a prank on one of our friends for April Fool's Day. So this particular friend of ours, like, he is the biggest fan of Kamen Rider Genmu from Kamen Rider Xaid. Like, he's like the biggest stan, the biggest simp, whatever term you want to have. So it's like, okay, so like one of our friends was like try to coordinate the rest of us. Okay, so exactly at midnight on April 1st, we're all going to post memes on our individual Facebook pages to talk crap about Genmu. So then they would all show up on his feed. I'm like, I'm down for that. So I made this one meme. I don't know if I could find it anymore, but basically it goes like this. Team Red Hot leader is Sonomura, a much better Kamen Rider than Genmu.
Oh, you guys are evil. just ragging on the poor boy and just on his love of a certain rider.
Yep, it was hilarious. I wonder, I very much doubt I have that picture because, like, it's from like forever ago. Like, if you looked at my Twitch page, like, you might be able to find it, but I very much doubt it. But it was just hilarious, and like, it's like the moment the idea was proposed, like the immediate the idea came to me like right away. Like, I know the perfect insult for Genmu. Yeah. So yeah.
That's horrible.
So yeah, no, it was hilarious. What's it called? Making that joke. I don't know if you came up with like a different joke for that, but it is what it is.
I have seen bits and pieces of Gaim, of X8 and all that stuff just because of people either trending it or memeing it to hell and back. So again, I'm barely getting in dipping my feet into X8 again.
Yeah. Nah,
but yes,
yeah,
we're here to talk about Fruit Samurai.
Yeah.
And very interesting Fruit Samurai.
Yeah, very, very interesting.
Very flamboyant Fruit
Samurai. Yeah.
I guess it'd be a Roman soldier with the motif.
Yeah. So where we last left off, we had these two new riders, Gridon and Kurokage. By the way, Gridon is the word dongri spelled backwards. So
it's literally acorn and
pine cone,
which are like, again, it's like the lower, because apparently there are tiers.
Yeah.
Of lock seeds. Apparently, in the legume type of family of nuts are the lower ones, because I'm tending to noticing that coconut, pine cones, acorns, sunflower seeds, are just the most common things to find.
Well, yeah, because they're seeds. They're literally just seeds. Nuts are just seeds.
Yeah. So they're very common to find, and everyone to their mother has them, which is like. But apparently, the fruits also vary in categories, because what our hero has is probably categorized as a type A,
type B or something.
It's like high B or A, something like that. But it's like, okay, so what would be considered beyond that, which we haven't gotten there yet. But again, uses this because everyone uses it in demonic Pokemon battles.
Yeah.
With these gnarly looking, aphid looking motherfuckers, which were the inverse.
I actually wanted to look into it, like why are some of them red, some of them blue, and some of them green, and this actually ties into like the monster form that they become, because the blue ones turn into monsters that are based on Japanese mythology. The green ones become monsters that are based on Chinese mythology, while the red ones are based on the like Western mythology. And you might notice that blue, green, and red tie to the undersuits of Gaim, Ryugen, and Baron.
Yeah, because of their placement in history and their motifs.
Yeah,
you're right.
Samurai, Han, and Knight.
You're looking at the Far East, and then you're looking at like in old European, because you're right. There is a point in this, because I was like, wait a minute, we had that one inverse in the earlier episodes, that looked like a ram or a stag, that he kind of became a more buffer, more like. But apparently, like, I guess people were saying that was like a Wendigo, but I don't think so.
No, Wendigo may have deer-like features, but no, it's
this
actually based more on the Shika from Shinto.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. And then in this episode, or in these episodes, we get another inverse, which is red, and it turns into a giant boar, which kind of goes into
Nemean
like
boar. Well, not Nemean boar, Nemean lion, but Hercules fought a boar, so
yeah, it's more like Greek or Gaelic, that kind of thought, because I'm like, a boar. I know that there's a boar yokai in Japanese, but this thing seemed more of a style of like a European style boar than they would normally do with Japanese stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's these seeds, these items. Apparently, in our last review, we said Sid was kind of just handing them out. Rare items, my ass, Sid. You're like giving them out to everybody. You're giving them
out almost as much as a Gosei giving out Zords.
Yeah, you were just giving them all out, and just give them, like, 11 people got them. Which is like, you give them all to these like performance artists and dancers, which I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. Only for one dumbass to lose it.
Technically two, because Yuya technically lost his.
Well, because that was the thing in these episodes, we get this whole thing where our main boy Kota is looking for a job.
And we meet one of the most amazing,
most Trevian riders that we've ever seen in our lives. I mean, I did some research on this, and apparently a lot of people say that this character was the first. And it's like, no, it was not. Apparently there was two in Ryuki that were our kind of first of the LGBTQ plus representation. Depends, because it kind of was like, well, I looked into that and it's like it's vague.
It's like this. So there's actually an interesting history about LGBT representation in tokusatsu, but like in Kamen Rider specifically, because keep in mind I didn't watch all of Super Sentai, but I did watch all of Kamen Rider. The first trans character in Kamen Rider was from Kamen Rider W, the movie, because the Luna Dopont is a biologically male character that identifies as a woman.
Yeah.
So you got this massive character with a beard going like leave Eternal alone. He's my boyfriend. I'm gonna be the most moe girlfriend he'll ever have.
Yeah, but
of course he's asexual, so like because he's a zombie. But like, then we had the first cross-dressing character in Wizard, the owner of the donut shop.
No, apparently that is not a cross-dresser. That is apparently a transgender person, which has been solidified by the actor themselves. Because I know that we're making it seem as it is cross-dressing, but it's like, even watching Wizard, like as many times as I have, I was like, this is not just some like, oh, I do this on Sundays type of thing. This is a way of life for them. And I kind of well, okay, it's fine. But to have a Kamen Rider, or at least a somewhat of a main focus rider, being like the focus and being gay, which I was kind of like, is he? But then we solidified that in like episode 11. He is gay.
He's not just wearing makeup and
he's not just flamboyant. Yeah, he's just he is
straight up gay. And he is gay. And much like Lafayette from True Blood, same energy, by the way. Yes. They're both played by straight actors.
but they owned it.
Again, it's acting, but they owned it. Heck, Mickey from Shameless was played by a straight actor, but he owned it.
I mean, I don't want to get into this, but I mean the key word is acting. As many people have said, as long as they're not being disrespectful to what they're trying to do, I don't think there's any harm, no foul. Could it have been that they could have gotten an actor that was? Yes, of course, but you want that performance, you want that ambiance. I'm gonna just say it. I don't care for when they remake films that focus on a gay character or a lesbian character and then redo it, because it doesn't capture the same energy that was given. It wasn't the fact that because they exude that energy. Let us take the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh yeah.
The one that they did recent with Victoria Justice, I watched it. I could not, because I was like, I don't feel it. I don't feel that energy. Not to be dissing the actors here, but I don't feel it. It's the same thing when you watch a Disney remake movie.
Yeah.
It's like the original had it. They had that, but no one cared. They cared about performance and good acting, and that's what we have here. That's what we have here.
That's the funny thing about it. And that's the funny thing about that episode of Supergirl that featured Brandon Mejia. Because what's her name? Dream Girl is supposed to be a trans character because she's biologically male, but she has a superpower that only the females of her species have. But then, like at the end of the episode, she's doing an interview. It's like, well, I'm trans, but I'm an alien, but I'm a Gryffindor and I'm a Stark. I'm like, bro, there's no way you're both a Gryffindor and a Stark. Okay, I can I can.
This is where we draw the line. Not sexual identities. It's that you're mixing two fandoms. That it's like mixing water and oil. There's no way.
Two fandoms. It's the fact that you're.
You're saying that you're
a Gryffindor and a Stark. Maybe it could be a Hufflepuff and a Stark.
It's like mixing water and oil. There's no way. There's no way. You're telling me that you're this, but in this other test you're this. That makes no sense, because that's totally contradictory. But either or.
Yeah, you could be a Slytherin and a Lannister. Like you could be a Ravenclaw and a Martell, but there's no way you could be both a Gryffindor and a Stark. I'm sorry, like that's where I draw the line in the suspension of disbelief. Oh, and also like the first Kamen Rider to identify as non-binary, ironically, was in a season called 01. So,
wasn't that the robot?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, do we give robots? Do they? I mean, they look like people, but I mean,
Delmo definitely identified.
I'm not
as
touching
a
that.
woman.
I'm not touching that.
Delmo
I mean, no,
identified as a woman.
I mean, they look like it, but I'm like, I'm not touching that. I'm not. I'm like, you know what? It's one thing. It's another.
With that, all of that in mind, the fact that like people are like, oh my God, Izzy's the first gay Power Ranger. I'm like, and
no.
I'm sorry, but I'm so used to Kamen Rider already like being so far ahead of American Power Rangers that's like I'm just indifferent.
Yeah, no. When it came down to this character, Pierre Alfonso, which every time I hear his name, it just reminds me of the Lady Gaga song Alejandro, but I just keep saying Alfonso instead of Alejandro.
Yeah,
I'm just like, he just gives those vibes, man. He is rocking it.
Banana.
And, you know, especially when he first showed up, I was like, oh, there go. The most basic bitch question. Like, so what is your astrologist? Oh my God. I was like, you know, someone actually did that to me recently.
Really?
They asked me my astrological sign and I just said Virgo, and they were just like, ill. ew, and they walked away, only to come back begging to get to know me because apparently their friends said, no, you have to stay away from September Virgos, not August Virgos. August Virgos are what you need in your life. And it's just like, you insult me and then you want me to be your friend. Bye. Get out.
Like, if you want to,
I'm
like
honestly, I don't care.
See, this is why I consider astrology to be bogus. No offense to people who love astrology, but it's like you should be able to be friends with people regardless of what day of the year they were born on.
Yeah,
like,
especially
and you should,
and especially like if that were the case, if we were going by like astrology, then no one should ever associate with Geminis.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody.
Not even Geminis.
Not even Geminis. Like Geminis are just they're horrible. They're like, well, everything that I'm like, I've never seen like such hatred towards Geminis, and I'm like,
it's like how Harry Potter's just like anti-Slytherin propaganda. We're like, you find out every evil wizard was in Slytherin. I'm like, hello, Peter Pettigrew was a freaking Gryffindor. So
yeah, no, I know. It's just that whole stereotype that if you are, then you automatically are evil, which is bullshit.
But also, it's like you know, like
you can kind of say in this, it's like you can
even in the Battle of Hogwarts, even in the Battle of Hogwarts, it's like go ahead.
No, you can kind of say like in this, like this whole stereotype that you could say that every Kamen Rider other than Gaim and Ryugen are assholes or bad guys, which is not true. It's so not true. Baron is, Kaito is just an asshole, but he's an asshole with morals. Pierre is just out there, but he's got a purpose in what he's doing. As for these other two knuckleheads over here, they're just doing it because you're just written to do so.
The Rex and Weevil of Kamen Rider.
Yeah. You're pretty much that. Because, again, the whole thing about Pierre is when he first appears is that he's so flamboyant, so over the top, and I'm just like, okay, this character's not gay. I don't know what. I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently he gets the Sengoku driver because someone just decides that, Sid gives another random whomever a Sengoku driver just because, and apparently he loses it because he was being disruptive in this gentleman's establishment because he is a world-renowned pâtissier. For those who don't know, pâtissier is a French term that we just say for a pastry chef. But when you say it, it is more respectful.
Yeah, and he even has Michelin stars, believe it or not.
Yeah, for me, I work in a casino resort, and I've very few that I have called pâtissiers or I call chefs. If I do that, that means it's respect, and I know that you know what you're doing. Just because you're a cook does not mean you fall under that. Yeah, you're not a chef. You're not a specialist.
You're not even a sous chef.
Yeah, you're taking the orders from the chef. You are the cook, and respect to our cooks and servers in all form of food service. Bless you all, because you guys really do make us go all the way.
Mm-hmm.
But don't call yourself chef. It's like saying I'm the captain.
It's like calling yourself a colonel.
Yeah.
It's like you're not a real colonel.
Yeah. It's like saying a rank. It's like those guys that wear military uniforms, but they've never been in the military. Wait a minute, that's a Marine patch on an army issued uniform. What the hell are you doing?
Valor.
Yeah. Oh God, no.
And I hate it when people call themselves doctor when they're not like.
What doctor are you? Are you a medical doctor? Have you owned a doctorate?
Do you have a PhD at something?
Yeah. No. But I'm a doctor though. Dude, I'm not talking about that fucking TARDIS that you have in your room. But yes, apparently that's
the thing. Like I say that like I've studied medicine because I did, but I would never call myself a doctor because I never got my MD. So
there you go. But apparently our boy Perrier Alfonso is not just a pâtissier.
He's a French paratrooper. Bow,
Yeah.
bow, bow, bow,
This
bow,
guy,
bow,
this guy
bow.
has seen some shit because apparently he starts noticing all these little rider battles that have been going on, and he's just kind of disgusted as like how they're just going about it. Which, yeah, compared to someone who has seen actual battle, you would be insulted that they're saying, "Oh, this is a fight. This is just two kids like going around and doing that." Uh, uh,
Yeah,
uh.
to him, that's what it looks like. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's like,
but
and this reminds me of one of my favorite stories about Christopher Lee because, like, he's seen some things. He's seen
Christopher
some.
Lee has had a very long and
Mhm.
interesting life. The man
Like
truly is a legend.
the League of Ungentlemanly Tactics. He was a founding member of that.
Yeah, yeah. No,
And
it is crazy how this man and his life. I was just like, it is the most metalist story you have ever heard. Even to the fact in his old age, before his death, he recorded a Christmas metal album.
he recorded several metal albums
I'm
altogether.
like, that is metal as fuck, dude.
The Harbinger of the Saxons, yeah. And what's the reason I bring him up is because when they were like filming the series Lord of the Rings, it's like there's supposed to be like a scene where a person gets their throat slit, and of course they're like, but it's like, have you ever seen what it have you ever heard what it sounds like when a man has his throat slit? No. Well, I will tell you. I know what it sounds like. This is not what it sounds like. And then he explains in excruciating detail what it sounds like when a person has their throat slit. So yes, Christopher Lee is the Oran Pierre Alfonso of the Lord of the Rings set, where like it's like all of you are pretending to be like knights and elves and dwarves. It's like I was in a real war. Yeah. So Oran Pierre Alfonso becomes Kamen Rider Bravo using the Durin
Bravo, bravissimo.
Yeah.
And for those, thank you for those who did my little poll when I did it on the social media. Apparently, there are 6 of you who have tried Durin's and liked it, and everyone else, a total of 30 people, said no, ill. Because it is a very pungent fruit.
It's an acquired taste.
It's a very acquired taste. I personally myself have tried it and all that, but not the most. I prefer jackfruit myself, but it is a very dangerous fruit indeed. As he say, he is Mr. Dangerous.
Mr. Dangerous. And now my pouches of death and destruction shall commence.
Yeah, for Durin's, they vary in size, but they are when produced, they have to have nets because if these things fall, they'll crack your skulls. But apparently, it's like it lives up because he starts kicking the asses of these 2 flunkies and taking their lock seeds. He even starts attacking other riders.
And you know what's funny? Said like when he fights against Barrett, like he returns him the Lockseed that he confiscated. He's like, "Are you showing me mercy?" It's like, "No, I just see potential in you." And I'm like, "Is that a Hisoka moment?"
That's a Hisoka moment. That's totally a Hisoka moment. But the thing is, also, we wouldn't have a show if we got rid of our secondary riders so quickly because. No joke, you got kids who are just dancing and being, riders, beat riders, while you are fighting an actual veteran of war and battle.
Yeah, and they're like, why is he even like fighting us? Why can't he just be happy making pastries? And I love how Mai's just like constantly like buying his desserts.
He's as he said, and it is true. Because again, like I said, the whole dance thing, the whole like blah, 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 that got thrown out the window. Like immediately. He even said, no one cares about the dancing anymore. No one cares about your little step and repeats.
Yeah,
What they're here, what they want.
I was thinking, man, it's like someone watched Steve discuss this episode and then
like
I put that into one of the lines.
Yeah, so like he pretty much goes off and says, and it is true, okay, the Colosseum is the most famous of examples, but throughout history, mankind has wanted to see. I mean, it's even in today's society, for crying out loud. When you see someone fighting, man or woman, it's only the people that know them that will break it up. You know, it's only them. Everyone else, shut up, grab a seat, here's some popcorn. Go ahead, Reese's Pieces.
That's literally why
we mind our own business. But and again, that's what he says, because it's like we don't want dancing and all this anymore. What we want is the bloodthirst of battle and the excitement. And you see all these people cheering and saying, "Yeah, we want blood." And I'm like,
go see Gaim.
Throw them to the lions, why don't you, man? Like, and even so, but when that happens where Team Gaim is performing, they have a commentary from the audience saying, "Hey man, I'm wondering if Bravo's gonna show up. I wonder if he's gonna fight, because that's what I really want." No one cares about the dance. No one cares about they want blood, and they want it by the gallons. I'm just like, holy crap. Although I will, just to share a little story with people, this is a weeb moment, and I was just kind of embarrassed that someone actually said this. They said that they couldn't believe that story plot line. And I'm like, what do you mean? And it's just like, dude, the Japanese would never condone such violence, blah, blah. And I'm just like, wait. I understand that you want to say that in today's society, we're not bloodthirsty, or we don't like violence, unnecessary violence is very, very a big no-no. But I'm sorry. Do people not watch MMA? Boxing?
Do people not watch hockey?
Wrestling? Hockey? Football?
American football?
American football? Like
rugby?
We pay money. I have a friend who is head of security at the MGM where they host the boxing matches. He tells me, dude, I'm in the front with the VIPs. These people spend millions just to sit up front for like 5 minutes. You don't think that, but it's the Japanese. No, dude, you're wearing a Dragon Ball Z t-shirt and you're telling me that the Japanese don't like unnecessary violence, or tournament style fighting is not in their culture.
It's like are you not aware that what's called Neo Japan Pro Wrestling is a thing?
G Gundam, Zoids, Beyblades, Pokemon, Bakugans, like Japan is full of battle. Like, are you kidding me? And they all show up in droves. You're telling me that a gay gentleman is saying the truth that humanity only wants to see the bloodshed. Well, bro, I don't see anyone saying that they don't. I'm not seeing anyone protesting saying stop the beat rider battles. No, they're like, we want more.
Yeah.
We want more.
No, if anything, I would draw the line at bullfighting, because.
Well, yeah, if you're hurting harmless animals, then please no. But the fact that that again, Bravo just kind of went off and just released the Pokeballs, because here comes an army of inverse attacking everybody.
And they're like, how are you able to control so many? You're like, what do you mean? And then just break out.
He's like, oh no, hey, I command you. No, you don't. No, you don't. And apparently both Ryugen and Gaim have to go in and just stop and be like, no, we got it. Only for them to get overwhelmed. But in this episode that we have not mentioned, apparently Michi hears his brother Tori talking to someone on the phone and sees him with a certain metal briefcase, which he sees a certain lock seed. And again, I'm like, are you just tunnel vision, Michi? I mean, you saw the watermelon. You saw Seki right here.
Suika.
You saw it. It's right here.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't see the other one. Or you're just like, there's no way. We'll come back to that. But he throws it to Gaim, to our main boy, and here comes a Megazord.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Forza had a Megazord technically, which was the shuttle
Power
rocket. Yeah, but this is like, okay, now it's a watermelon. Takes out a lot of them, but apparently one inverse just grabs all the lock seeds and like a greedy pig, pun intended,
turns into
a giant boar, which starts raking the place. And again, not Baron, Bravo, and all the rest are just like, what's going on? You're chasing the motherfucking pig.
Yeah.
Only for the pig to kind of like, I'm thinking like it probably burnt out because it just started falling apart as they were chasing it.
Yeah.
Only for it to get sliced by the watermelon.
Yeah.
And finally,
and also we also see a conversation between Takatora as Sid and, as it turns out, DJ Sagara. Apparently
the DJ is also involved in here because it's just like, well, yeah, it's kind of like the same thing with Master in Evolt and Build. There's no way this guy is just a throwaway character.
Yeah,
he's too fashionable.
It's like every time there's a fashionable character,
every time there is a man of like older age and very fashionable, ain't no way this mother is just a throwaway character. He is something. I'd be damned if he's the president of Yggdrasil. Yeah, I'm like, I'd be damned if he's the president of Yggdrasil. But again, I don't know that.
Yeah, so Takatora rebukes it. It's like, how dare you like give one of the drivers to some random kid who lost it to a legitimate paratrooper, because this could be a problem. And then DJ Saga was like, well, aren't you the one that lost the Suika Lockseed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
well,
here's the thing. Look over there.
Yeah, so I mean, that's kind of like, I don't know. Again, that's another thing that gets dropped, which I was like, duh, really? What did you think? What did you think they were doing? Just handing you these Bandai premium toys just for your collection? No, of course. You're guinea pigs. But the thing is that I'm assuming that they didn't want to give it to like seasoned or trained people because, well, as they say, it's more better to train puppies than it is to train a full-fledged adult wolf.
Yeah, it's better it's easier to use teenagers with attitude than stoic firefighters and paramedics.
Yeah, like you want to get them young, as they say, because again, Bravo is just doing his own thing. He was wrecking and owning shop until he had to run home and bake his pie crusts.
Yeah, his pie crusts were ready in the oven.
And who says he's not a man of morals? Because he is. And we don't see him afterwards. But that is the concern for our people in the main office of Yggdrasil. That, wait, so who, what, and who was the other guy that you gave the Sengoku driver to? Said, I asked you if you wanted me to tell you, but you said no, Tori. So you're gonna have to find out. Sid is very interesting. I like Sid. I like him. But it's just like, yeah. But then we go into our next episode, which cue a new power-up. But not for our main boys.
So our next two episodes 8 and 9, are basically one-off episodes, but they do help develop the story more. So like, I'm just gonna like try to summarize them really fast. So basically, in the first one, Mai accidentally finds a portal to Helheim,
This girl is she's a magnet for these things. I'm like, you should just have her around. Where's the whole mind? Where is it?
So she goes inside. She barely texts Kota and Michi about it. Of course, Michi's getting lectured by his brother to even notice the phone call, and Kota is struggling to get a job.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, and Kaido is just like, I need to get stronger. So he goes into the forest to pick some more lock seeds.
He goes into the hyperbolic time chamber to train for 5 episodes. But it's just but here's the thing though. I mean, just a little. Kaido, you were there in episode 2 or 3 when Gaim took his orange and swapped it for pineapple. You know this. And
you've had a mango for a while.
Yeah. I was like, wait, you had multiple lock seeds. You gave the seeds to these dummies, and you didn't say anything about it. But wait, what happened to the mango? You had it this whole time. It's like you never thought about swapping out your armor. Again, the person who I was speaking of who said, I don't believe the Japanese are violent. Not saying they are, but you know what? The proof is there. He said, there's this whole thing with this monster that they come across. It's a dragon.
Yep.
And they keep attacking it, but it's nothing is working. Everything is just cling, cling, cling. And it's just like, what's going on? And he's like, they need to go sharpen their swords. Immediately, I thought of Monster Hunter. For those my fellow hunters out there, you all know when you're fighting a monster, when you're fighting a Devil Joe or a Rajang, a Kirin or whatever, you can't just go into battle with a blunt instrument. I don't know why we have to sharpen hammers. That makes no sense. But every time when your weapon just gets less, it just clangs off the monster, and that's what's going on here. Because it's just like, yeah, we need an upgrade. We need and Baron finally decides my banana is not strong enough. Yeah,
I'm gonna use a mango.
I'm gonna use a mango, which again, very cool how this thing looks, especially with the draped kind of Viking horns that come out from it. We have a morning star. Or a mace for those who be simplified. It's a mace, but it's most
a morning star is when you have this one you have the handle, but then there's a chain attached to it.
So basically, what pineapple is?
Yeah, the pineapple is a flail where it's just a chain with the blunt head to it. Actually. Okay. Yeah, the pineapple one might actually be a morning star.
Yeah. But apparently the mango, another citrusy fruit. You ever notice that the power-ups are all citrus fruits?
Yeah.
Everything is a citrus because it's a blast of flavor. Hey, man, I love mangoes. Don't get me wrong, I love mangoes. But yeah, apparently because so they beat it, but in this whole thing, Mai is trying to because apparently Baron Kaito has just been in this forest for God knows how long. And it's just well, it's to show that he's not an asshole because he does save Mai. He does protect her. He does keep her safe because...
And he briefly mentions how Zawami City used to be rural, but then it got overtaken by Hijasil. So he's like, I wasn't strong enough. So now I'm going to go on a journey to become strong.
But, so I want to say that something happened to your parents, Kaito. I'm pretty sure your parents got, taken in by Yggdrasil, but something happened to them that now you kind of hate them. That's the same as Mai, because Mai doesn't really care for Yggdrasil either, But yeah, so it's just a growing moment where we just kind of figure hey, maybe Baron's not such a bad guy. And maybe our main Gaim boy can learn to not fall off of his bike and land face first, and then leave the bike to go find Mai, and it's like, we gotta find a zipper. You left your bike that could literally rip you a hole to get you back home.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah, and
seriously, why? You could just get on the bike, go 88 miles, and then get back home. But no, we gotta find a zipper rip hole to get her out. Like, no, you don't.
also,
No.
like, doesn't Michi get a bike? So can't they just use Michi's bike?
They all have one now. They all have the Sakura or the Rose lock seeds now. Which I'm like, okay. I guess Sid kind of it comes with, you buy a Sengoku driver, it comes with your own lock seed and the Rose, which gets you a bike. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's not extra. No, okay. I'll take it. I'll take free stuff.
And of course, at the end of the episode, after defeating the monster by combining Pine and a Mango arms, they think, if humans can be trapped in the Helheim.
In the Helheim, yes.
Doesn't that mean that Invis could also be trapped here on Earth when these things open?
That is a very good question, but we have to wait for next week to find out. But in this review, you don't have to wait because we're going to talk about it right now.
Yeah, it's like all these questions will be answered right now. Yes, no, and oh, sweet God, no.
Yeah.
Like Team 4-star.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like turns out there is an Invis that's running amok on Earth because like it's been trapped here, and people can't seem to find it for some reason. Oh,
but
go ahead.
But okay, so the Invis that is running amok. Okay. We find out about that later, that there is one. But the fact, I'm like, is this an actual Invis? Because again, there's the ones that have appeared before us, and then the upgraded ones when they eat the lock seeds. But this one seemed more like different, as if it wasn't a natural. Because again, we in the opening of this episode, we see a worker or somebody, and they just look at the lock seed fruits, because as always, the lock seed fruits look like lychee or like a peach. But he looks at it and he's just like, he just starts noshing. He's just chewing to town on this thing. I'm like, so we have come to say that the inverse eat these things to survive because that's just their thing. It's their food source. So what happens when a human would eat it? Are they suitable for human consumption? Or is there some type of like cursed fruit, if you will, like reaction that a human would eat this? Because out of nowhere, then we get reports that there's some random inverse going around attacking people and attacking fruits and things like that. But it's not a regular inverse. This thing looks very different. It's more stylized, more like it's like unnatural. It's unnatural. As I say, inverses are very weird, but you kind of get the idea, because again, we've had inverses that have become like the stags and other things, but this is more like a hodgepodge of something that was just, we don't know, but I'm assuming, is this bat moth thing, because again, it is also able to speak. Is this the guy that we saw in the beginning of the episode? Is this what happens to someone who eats a lock seed? We don't know, because we were never answered that, because they killed the thing.
Yep. And what's funny is that when they try to lure it out, they find out, hey, if we're wearing a belt, when we pick the fruit off, it automatically turns into a lock seed. So
because again, it's like you saw Mai pick one up in the previous episode. Nothing happened. She didn't get a lock seed. I guess she didn't pay that Bandai premium cost, Mai. She just kind of got the fruit and just But yeah, it makes sense now. Those with the Sengoku driver, they're the ones that are able to get lock seeds.
And what's funny is that when they're trying to lure out the Invis, it's like one, like I think it was Rat who says it's like, I wonder what it tastes like.
Yeah. It like I'm like, don't tempt yourself, dude. It's the forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look tasty. It really, really does. But
yeah, so interestingly enough, before they even have a chance to actually fight the Invis, which by the way, tracking it was really clever because they attached Michi's phone to it, and then I used Find My Friend app to like stalk it.
Yeah.
But before they had a chance to do anything about it, Yggdrasil just burns the place down.
Were air tags not a thing back then? I don't think so.
No.
I'm like, no, we had to put in our hotspot locations for us to track this thing. I'm like, very, 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 very topical at the time.
Yeah, and of course, the mysterious white Kamen Rider shows up.
Oh boy!
And defeats the Invis, and then Michi can't help but notice that this mysterious white Kamen Rider has the same faceplate that he saw in his brother's office.
But he's there with Kota because apparently they find again another area that is infected, or like it's an overgrowth of the fauna from Helheim.
Yeah.
And a bunch of Invis, and he shows up and he kills them, but it's like they're and a bunch of hazmat people show up to burn the place down because so what happens if an Invis gets, what happens if they get stuck here,
Yeah.
So to keep the proof away, it's like, but yeah, as you said, he saw the faceplate, he saw the lock seed, and he's like, wait a minute, I've seen that before.
Could it be?
It can't be. Michi. Sweet, sweet, sweet baby boy. I'm like, really? You're telling me that you don't know? I mean, for goodness sake, Sid even said, you're Tori's little brother. Yeah, I know you. If he gave you one, what makes you think that your big brother doesn't have one either? And he is the badass that is Seto Kaiba. With his
Kamen Rider Zanget.
Yeah, with his green eyes, with his white green melon. Seriously, it kind of, I was like, not a shocker really, but for him it is, because apparently you can't. How can melon be so violent? It's a very strong taste.
This how.
Very, very strong taste, melon.
Yeah. I like honeydew. It's one of my favorite fruits.
Well, yeah, no, obviously. It's like, the honeydew is just wickedly overpowered in Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we end that episode and then we go into
the 2 parts arc finale.
Yes. We're up to 10 and 11 now.
Yeah. So the long and short of it is they want to find Yggdrasil's base because they don't know right away that it's Yggdrasil, but we know. They don't, but we know. It's kind of obvious.
I know. I'm like, the big looming tree structure is the enemy? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like we need to find their base, which is probably in the forest, but we can't get near it because the white Kamen Rider that we don't know who he is probably guarding it. So what if we had a bunch of Kamen Riders to become a distraction to ward the white Kamen Rider away so that Kota could find it? So they come up with a game plan. So like instead of getting Christmas jobs, because apparently getting seasonal Christmas jobs is way easier than simply working at a patisserie just because you were born in February. So
I mean, it's the obligatory Christmas episodes because I was just like, and isn't it kind of fitting because today is the fall equinox?
Yep.
Winter is coming, ladies and gentlemen.
I wondered why today was such a beautiful day.
It was wonderful. Wonderful weather today. But yeah. everyone to their mother, even our gay uncle shows up because Bravo shows up again saying, "Why have you lovely boys kept me away from this beautiful game you're going to play?" Oh, honey,
Yeah.
relax. We're going into war. And you're thinking it's a nice brisk walk through the park.
Because to him, war is a briska in the park.
Such a
actually,
Freddie Mercury
one thing
would
I
tell him
do
to
find
calm
interesting,
down.
by the way, is the fact that the occupation of being a knight or a samurai is supposed to be this stoic professional occupation, while being a gladiator is just like
you're pretty much a glorified boxer.
Yeah, it's entertainment. Meanwhile, you got a bunch of entertainers dressed up as samurai and knights, while you have an actual paratrooper cosplaying as a gladiator. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that meme about like gods being nice people that dress up as mean people, while hippies are mean people that dress up as nice people.
Yeah. No, yeah. It could also be there was one they did for the Nerd World too, where it was what was it? It was said that nerds are actually hipsters and mean jerks, while the geeks are the nicest, most welcoming people in fandoms. Which apparently it's like there's the photo of like, you know, the CW Riverdale type of, you know, nerds with, you know, like we're hot, our niggeries and you know, online personas, compared to like the dorks and the homely people that are like welcoming and like, hey, you want to play some D&D? You want to talk about Kamen Rider? Where the other ones are very exclusive, like, yeah, I watch Dragon Ball, but I only talk about it with certain people. Not like, give me a break, really.
And it's like, I only watch Universal Century.
Oh yeah, the Gundam fandom. There's the others, and then there's the Universal Century and the Principality of Zeon. I'm like, oh boy, yeah, I know those guys. I do. I do. Even me going to Japan, I'm like, wow. Not even the people. I mean, I know Japan kind of doesn't like G Gundam too much, but they acknowledge, like, cool, great. But in America, it's like that boys.
I like G Gundam.
I know, me too. I like SD. I like all
the
build and all that. Yeah, they're great.
One of my favorite Gundams of all time is GF13 NJ047-2 God Gundam.
Yeah. So the thing is that, like, again, it all just depends, you know. There are the weebs, there's the dweebs, and then there are the dorks. You don't want to be a weeb. A geek and a geek, you're totally cool. But if you're a weeb or a nerd, no, thank you.
Yeah. So basically, their plan of action is we're just gonna have all of the armored riders collect a bunch of lock seeds. Whoever collects the most lock seeds will win. DJ Sagara is down for it. Sid is down for it. It's like, I'll provide you guys with bikes as long as you procure me a bunch of lock seeds.
Oh my god, they just send these poor bastards to their death. Why don't you?
Yeah, and it's like, and of course, Baron's like, wait, hold on. You guys have 2 riders on your team. Yeah, see, Kota's not going to participate. It'll just be Michi representing. Okay, in that case, that's fine. So they all go, before they have a chance to go in, they get ambushed by a bunch of Invis. And that's when Michi finally uses his Kiwi lock seed to get those giant razor blades. I love those razor blades.
Apparently, it is a weapon that was used in the Ming Dynasty. These were actual weapons that were used in war, which I'm like, okay. I don't get war. I don't understand it myself, but okay. I mean, circular blades, you know? Yeah. But yeah. And again, kiwi arms. You know, look. Another citrus fruit. Again, citrus fruits are just the end all in this. Like, not grape wasn't powerful enough. We need something with a bite, with a kick. Kiwi.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you eat it with the fur peel on, or do you eat it with it peeled? Because apparently there's a big difference.
See, I remove the peel, but then swallow the whole thing whole because, like you could eat the entire fruit.
I'm a weirdo. I just kind of grab the little thing and where people look at me like I'm some weirdo, and I'm like, that the peel is edible. I mean, I know it. Wash it firmly, yes, but I mean the furry peel is edible like apples. So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's an ambush, and apparently even Bravo starts attacking Baron.
Yeah.
Because the next thing you know, it's just like it's a literal free for all to gather lock seeds. But apparently they say it's like no, we have to fight each other. Like, who said? You're just here to pick lock seeds. Why are you?
This is my chance to get rid of you permanently.
Yeah. But apparently Rex and Weevil are over here, like just like, oh no, I'm gonna just pick lock seeds but get attacked, but also run into Zangetsu.
And because Zangetsu is like, okay, these humans are invading Helheim. This is interfering with our plans.
He is furious. He is mad because he's like, Sid, what did you? It's like, well, apparently 2 out of 3 of you in the company said, do it. I want to see what happens. It's not our fault, Tori, that they don't like you and they don't keep you involved in their plans. It really isn't, because they want to see what you guys are going to do.
And what's crazy? It's like, I get that you don't want to deal with Sid, but how does Takatora not know that Michi is Ryugen? Because, like, you'd think with DJ Sagara just, like, commentating on, like, these rider battles, you would have noticed. Like, there's even, like, video footage of Michi transforming in episode 4.
I don't think Tori watches TV or even cares about these, right? Because again, he calls them vagrants and vagabonds. He is literally look at these peasants. I'm like, okay, yeah,
you know what? We get it. You're third-rate Kamen Rider
down, Richie
with
Rich.
a 4th-rate lock seed.
Yeah, bring it down, Richie Rich. Come on. Like, not to mention, how do you not know that your little brother is part of Team Gaim? Like that, I mean, that's even what? How do you not know that? It's like what was, I forget. There's this like meme or video from this one show I don't remember. I don't never seen it, where it's a bunch of hood kids and they have that one white friend and they just call him like, hey DJ, let's go. Yeah, buddy, yeah, homie, I'll be right down. And he goes downstairs like, Father, I'm about to pursue my educational endeavors and go to school and study. I'll be home late because I have chess club. And his dad is like, oh, yes, Reginald, you be a good boy and take care of yourself. Do you need the chauffeur, son? Oh, no, I'll just be walking with my school chums down to the school. He's such a good boy. And then he goes out and is like, hey, what's up, homie? How you doing? Hey, baby girl, how you doing? Come over here, say hi to me. I'm like, what? That's the same thing with me. He leaves with this white button coat, and he's like, so long, brother. I'm about to follow my educational pursuits. And then he goes up, hey, what's up, homie? How you doing? How's the sniggity snizzle? Like, he goes straight into Snoop Dogg. I'm like, how do you not know this, Tori? Your brother is kicking.
I would say he goes into like season 6 Carl Gallagher where he's got the cornrows and stuff.
He walks out, his hair is just fine, like just perfect, like typical Japanese style haircut, and then the minute he leaves the door, it's all braided and whatnot. I'm like, how did you do that? I'm more impressed with this than the Kamen Rider transformation. You just took a step up the threshold. You went from proper primp having brunch at the country club at PGA West to going and hanging out at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles and French toast.
Yeah. So basically, like, Kota tries to infiltrate the laboratory, and like by disguising himself as a employee on his first day, no less. And like they just
they just believe him. Yeah, they just believe him and cue the supposed private conversation where it's just like, again, Kota, what did you think this was? Let me ask you. I mean, I know that typically the writers are not the smartest, not the sharpest knives in the drawer, especially in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, let's see, random dude in a cafe gives you a Bandai Premium Kamen Rider item, and then other people start getting it, and now we shift focus from dance troupe and just beatboxing to full on like gladiatorial battles. Are you legitimately shocked to find out that you guys are like literal guinea pigs in the pursuit of creating warriors based off of the resources of the Helheim forest? Like, what exactly, how does it work? How do we make it happen? And also, what happens if we expose humans to certain abilities that we ourselves are not fully capable of understanding yet? I mean, you gotta test these things somehow. Am I right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
He gets really, really mad, which I'm like, you're shocked that you guys are guinea pigs? Like, oh, we're just numbers to you guys. I would imagine so.
Yeah. So then a bunch of Invis invade while so Kota tries to rescue like all of the Joss Steel workers. Meanwhile, Zangetsu is fighting both Baron and what's his name, Bravo, and then, of course Bravo just falls in love with him because like his fighting style is so elegant.
Even with mango arms, Baron could not do much against Zangetsu, and within that, just again within that moment of swipe, slash, and parry, Bravo just goes, Amore, amore. Oh, sweet sir, what is your name? I did that too fucking well, didn't I? Oh, it was like, but he's just like, you're swine. And just like, I was like, please tell me your name. As I get, I'm like, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if we have not hit the LGBT quota for today, we have most definitely. This is, because again, I know people would argue that he was a flamboyant person and that doesn't make you gay, but he literally confesses his love for our stoic samurai of the honeydew.
Yeah. He like melon becomes his most favorite fruit.
He becomes his
Oh. In fact, one time I had this joke where I had the honeydew and the cantaloupe lock seeds, and I'm like, "Ooh, Takatora, you have such lovely melons."
Oh boy. Okay.
But yeah,
bravo to you, sir.
Yeah, So like Kota uses the exosuit mode of the watermelon to like destroy all the Invis. He saves everyone. Takatora's like, how dare such a hooligan like rescue my employees? And of course like they submit like all of their lock seats to Sid. Team Gaim remains in the lead. Sid closes up shop apparently. And everyone has a one final Christmas dance before they realize, things are gonna get real moving forward.
Yeah, because he just, again, they confront Sid, which he's just there drinking coffee, as I would be, because again, it is now fall, so cue the tea and coffee, ladies and gentlemen. And he's just like, but again, Kota and Michi are just like, we are not guinea pigs, we are people, we are broski. I'm sorry, but you've been guinea pigs this whole time. It's just kind of crazy that you haven't figured it out yet. What did you think? What did you think was going on? Did you just think this was just some random occurrence that was happening? Even so, I forget, what was the name of their leader? What was the name of their leader for Team Gaim?
Yuya.
Yuya, okay. what happened to Yuya? What happened to him? But we can't say.
Did look for it.
We can't say, but I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know what happened to him. And I know that's going to be later on. Keep watching with us, or please, if you're watching, no spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you guys have been this the whole time because they have been monitoring you guys like Squid Games before Squid Games was even a thing. Big Brother has been watching every single thing. Team Gaim, Team Baron, every single one of you have been on this supposed game of life or death, and you're having an inter monologue in these last minutes of how if we knew at the time, kind of like a Wonder Years monologue. When I was a kid, I didn't really understand at the time how serious and grave the situation would have been. I don't know if we would have accepted it.
Then I had to find out rudely that Weenie's brother, who I loved very much, died in Vietnam.
Yeah. It's like it's the whole it's the whole thing of like we were no longer like that summer we walked in as children, not knowing by the end of fall we would come out as men.
Wake me up when September ends.
and
that's it for the episode.
That's it. We wrap up the first saga in this play that is Kamen Rider Gaim, because now we get into
the winter film.
Now we get into we got a movie coming up so fast, but this was all like a setup. Like we're about kids becoming adults.
Yep.
Which not what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
I had heard that Gaim was a very serious story. I didn't expect it to be this serious, that it's like, well, obviously, it being based off of the Warring States era of Japan, like they didn't know what was gonna come from this.
Mm-hmm.
And neither do these people, because it's just gonna get worse. And now we move on to carbonated drinks.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay. So far, which is your favorite design for these riders?
I mean, so far Zangetsu looks like the most impressive of the bunch, I know we have Gaim, and he's got strawberry, he's got pineapple. For Gaim, I would say for a very cool aesthetic is definitely pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
For Baron himself, not much is done with Baron in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I know later on they really, really like hype him up. Mango is an amazing default. For Ryugen, I'll say just the grape. Not too very big on kiwi right now, but because I've not seen much of it. Durin, just base form. He has gotten nothing of upgrades or anything. Durin is just kicking ass. Base form. He's literally like the A class out of everyone here. But style wise, it definitely goes to Zangetsu. Just with his style and aesthetic. As of right now, Baron Mango form comes as a second favorite, and then comes Pineapple Gaim.
Yeah, for me, I would have to say that Zangetsu and Bravo were definitely the best designs in my opinion. Like
I do love the little scar that they have on the visor for Bravo.
That's I also love how like for his Ofe, like he can use his own mohawk as a weapon.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, was it really a challenge for him just taking on those two? I mean, I know that he had more of a trouble with Ryugen and with Gaim, but I mean, after everything that happened, I'm like, well, who wouldn't be exhausted after that?
Yeah.
But I mean, he is a badass. He is a badass.
So, what are your thoughts on the overall arc so far?
We've had 11 episodes so far, and within that, we have based our characters. Team Gaim is very childish.
Mhm.
Let us put it. I mean, Genda. Why am I blanking on Gaim's name? Damn it.
Kota.
Kota, thank you. Kota and Michi are very childish, and this goes with that. I mean, how they're acting right now is because, again, thank you to our fans for kind of mentioning in the comments last week that something's going to happen, which is going to make it seem even worse, between a fallout between these two. They were best friends. It's kind of like childhood friends just drifting apart. And have we not all gone through that at some point in our lives? So as of right now, we're seeing them as if they're buddies, they're pals, they're here for each other, but something's going to happen. Like, we're setting it up. We're setting it all up. Baron still, he's not a one-dimensional character that he wants to be the strongest. He has his morals. He has his, but that's going to be pushed to the limits, I assume.
Yeah.
Like, his world is very black and white right now. But somewhere along the line, whether it's with Mai or with whomever, his world is going to get some color into it, and it's going to be hard. It ain't going to be a simple, knock on the cheek. It's going to be world shattering for him to realize what his path has been and with reason. But I mean, you can't just look at the world black and white. That's not how it is. As for Durin and Zangetsu, I mean, obviously, I don't see Zangetsu change. I don't see Tori changing much besides just being more towards the company. And I think that's probably going to kick him in the ass. I don't know how long we can keep Bravo, because I don't know. He may stick around. I love him. I love Bravo. I love him.
Yeah. Like, honestly, for me, Bravo's my favorite writer this season.
He is just extra, and that's how we love it. We need a showman, and that's what it is. He is the true showman. He is the ringmaster here. Whether people want to say it's Gaim, it is not Gaim. Gaim can't hold a show. It is Bravo. I love Bravo. Yeah. He is just fabulous.
All right. So, what score would you give these 6 episodes, and what score would you give the arc as a whole?
The arc so far, building characters in the world, I give it a 9, because while we don't really understand why these zipper portals just keep randomly opening up, because again, it's gotten bad. I mean, in the last episode, there was an entire infestation that got out.
Yeah.
As for Mai's connection, because again, she's not there much, but the fact that there's this girl that looks like her, and she's just there's a bit of mystery there. So is Mai an actual person, or is she a persona? Again, so I give the entirety a 9 just for what we have as story-wise. What happens beyond this point, I don't know. It could either bump the score up or it could bump it down.
Yeah. For me, I would have to give the show, the episodes, 10, 10, 9, 8, 9, 9, because everything with Bravo is just fantastic. They even make a good point of how it's nowadays anyone could just grab a camera and call themselves a content creator, but back in the day, you wouldn't even be able to get on stage without a teacher's permission.
Yes. You needed talent.
Yeah.
As of right now, you needed something. Sometimes, and it is true, dear viewers and watchers, sometimes you kind of just look at someone, it's how did this person get to be what are they doing that? What if I did that? I could do that. Yeah, you could, but you don't have what they got, which is the charisma. But that's, but other than that, you could. He's a boxer. He's a singer, rapper, athlete. Who is this person? What do they do? They're just a YouTuber. Well, what does that mean? Or they talk on a podcast about, men in spandex with fruit motifs. I'm like, yeah. I don't know. What are we? We're just commentating.
Yeah,
we're just commentators. We're that's it. We're commentators. But other than that, it's kind of like you everyone sees themselves as a star. You're a star. I'm like, but you wonder, how did they get there? How luck was on their side? Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not.
Or they're better at market research.
Yeah. So I mean, it is true. What Bravo said is very true in terms of society, in terms of how we see entertainment, and as horrible as it sounds,
it's true.
When the bloodlust is there, you can't really deny it. You got to just fulfill it.
Yeah, I would have to say, like, as much as I want to root for Team Gaim, it's like they're just not as interesting, because it's like, they want to have the dance freedom, but you didn't properly define what that freedom actually is.
The goal is not really, we just want to dance. I'm like, okay, I mean, you can do that, but what? I don't know. I mean, Baron wants to get strong, and Bravo is just like a warrior incarnate, despite who he may be. But still, like, Gaim does not seem very much so. But again, as always, as I say, the best bananas are ripe with time. These ones are still a little green.
All right, let's go to. So my score for the arc, 9. It still has plenty of mystery to go around, but it doesn't just create new mysteries just to like dispel them the next episode. And next arc is going to be pretty fun. Okay, so let's go right into it. So here's what the comments have to say. X-Men EXE has a cat in a box. Not sure what that means. And some dabbing. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, the dance thing is just thrown out the window. Show up sporadically, but has no plot relevance anymore.
I mean, we only had it for like 6 episodes. Like, that was it. Like, everything else everything after that is just like war. And I'm like, because again, that was the thing that I was like, I remember when Gaim first came out and people were cosplaying as Gaim, like the earlier people had like the jackets and the and then as the year progressed and you saw more people, now we started getting the soda machines and the dark fruits, and then they started running into like actual like what Kamen Riders trench coats and suits and like casual gear. It's like, wait, wasn't this about a dance group? No. Who told you that? No.
The trailer told you. That's who.
Okay, the trailer told me. Yeah, what the heck? What happened?
This model makes no sense.
Yeah, it's like, what happened? I thought this was about dance and being like, no, not anymore. It literally is. It literally was that. We have entered the Wonder Years level of monologues now. Now we've gone from elementary school now to high school. That's how much of a time skip we're gonna have, apparently.
Right. So since business model makes no sense. No, you're right.
I mean, he is he really a businessman? He's more of a peddler.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes like, "Oh, you need lock seeds. This is how much it's going to cost you." But sometimes he's just like,
he just hands them out for free.
Yeah, he just gives them to you. Like, he's not really a businessman. I mean, he's more of just like I don't want to say a drug dealer, but he's just a peddler. He just not the, what are you buying? He's just like, here you are, sir. So,
My pageant of death and destruction shall commence. Yes. Bravo is the goat. Yes.
Yeah.
Bravo didn't learn that Invis can go berserk. Yep.
Gosh, Bravo didn't know much of anything. He was just like, oh, I'm going to just blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, He's fabulous. He's got style. He's got flair. He can speak French, but in terms of interdimensional monsters, whoa, he's a lady.
Yes, Queen Slay. I'm surprised the two scientists didn't figure out that Koto was Gaim.
Oy. And this is why they say that a degree from any college or university just doesn't add up nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you go to school. I mean, yeah, you learn. Again, not dissing on anyone who's got degrees or anything, but you go to school and you memorize books and equations. But when it comes to real life,
like learning to read the room.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, you guys are stupid. Let us drop some bombs right now for the main character to hear, even though we don't know he's the main character.
All right. But Bravo Zangetsu is so cute. Yeah, it is.
Let us ship the Melon and Durin.
It is go together.
It's so ooh. It's
like the Beatles song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All green fruits go together.
All you need is love. All you need is love.
And heck, the song starts off with the French national anthem. Bam, ba-dam, bam, 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 ba-dam. Love.
It also reminds me of the Queen song "Lover Boy."
Yeah. I'm a good old-fashioned lover boy.
Man, Freddie Mercury he rang in my head the whole time that Bravo was on stage.
Absolutely, because Queen knows how to slay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, if you enjoy us putting ranting. Bravo on a pedestal,
we are allies here, people.
Yeah,
we are allies. We hype our people up.
Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos, and be sure to share our videos because it helps us out with the algorithm. We do Kamen Rider. Yeah, we do Ultraman Arc on Mondays, Kamen Rider Gav on Wednesdays, Bakage Sentai Boom Boom on Thursdays, and Kamen Rider Gaim on Sundays. And also, we have a lot of Power Morphicon interviews that we are still in the process of uploading, so be sure to check them out. Oh, boy. Yes, and also check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where in just 5 minutes, as of this moment, we'll be discussing the film Dumb and Dumber 2. Yes, it's the 10-year anniversary of this film, which aired on the 20th anniversary of the original film because it's 30 years. So, be sure to check that out on The Buttery Show, as well as the original Dumb and Dumber, both mask movies and both speed movies. So be sure to check that out. And if you want to follow our personal content, you can find us on... There we go.
Thank you for everyone for accepting me in your letters. Thank you so much. So please follow me on IG. I'll see what content I can do. As of right now, I'm not sure, but I just post random posts and random videos of myself every other day. So thank you.
All right. And you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay safe, stay hydrated, update emergency kits, hug your loved ones, enjoy the fall season. Don't consume too much pumpkin spice. I'm surprised it didn't make a pumpkin loxy because, it could very well be one because it's a fruit. And we'll see. It is a fruit. Just repaint the watermelon one orange and you're good to go. And
is a fruit.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.